Hi viewers, and welcome to the latest in my series of interviews with interesting atheists. Today we have somebody who's on the opposite side of the world from me. So he's had today and he's in the evening, but I'm still in my morning. It's getting up to lunchtime here. So Harris Sultan has a very interesting story. He's an ex-Muslim. Harris, how the devil are you?
I am very good, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Tell us.
Well, you're definitely doing better than me because, we're in Melbourne, stage 4 lockdown.
Yeah.
This is kind of a curfew, really. So we all have been imprisoned. But I understand I'm not actually one of those people who are actually protesting out there and saying, no, shut down this. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good. So how did you become an ex-Muslim? That's quite a brave thing in some parts of the world to do.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of the lucky ones. I came out of Pakistan fairly early in my life. I was 19 years old, and I came to Australia, got a university degree in IT, and somewhere along the way at that time, I started losing my faith, and then I became aware of Richard Dawkins accidentally.
Well,
And then I read, I think, 4 of his books in the span of a month or a month and a bit. I read God Delusion twice, and then I got into his lectures, and I became aware of Sam Harris and all that. So, I mean,
yeah.
their arguments, all the questions I had, these guys were so eloquently answering them forward, and it was just making sense to me. So it was very difficult to hold on to any faith. In my case, obviously, it was Islam.
Yes.
And then it just let it go, basically.
Yes. Well, I'm hoping to meet up with Richard in April because I'm the organizer of the Anti-Theism International Convention, which is going to be held here in Brighton. It was about to be held this year, but 3 weeks before, less than that, it was ready to go. COVID happened and we got locked down, no flights, nothing. So I will tell him he will be pleased to hear that you are yet another success story. He converted you with his books.
Well, yeah, I think I'm a massive Richard Dawkins fan. I mean, I've always said I've given my speeches in my book. I've mentioned him a few times that how he is my inspirational hero and how he changed. And such a big fan. And I actually want to meet him. Last time when I was in England, I couldn't get a hold of him. I wanted to tell him that it's such a funny thing. Now I've got 55,000 subscribers in Pakistan. My videos get something like 40,000-50,000 views. I'm doing that work in Urdu, and all my intellectual rebirth has been caused by Professor Dawkins, and I'm actually regurgitating his arguments. And I'm sure some of his arguments that he's borrowed from earlier atheists, but it's kind of the same principle. But then I'm actually pushing them forward to mainstream Pakistani youth, and they think that, oh, it's coming from Harris. But I'm actually, spreading Richard's word, and I guess that's how it works. But so Richard reached out to me, and now I've had thousands of letters and messages from people in Pakistan who've left Islam. So I guess they're not leaving Islam because of me, but they're kind of leaving Islam because of Richard, and that's how this exponential growth works.
Yeah. Well, I wish you'd promote some of my work as well, because just before lockdown, I had a debate with a Muslim in Manchester University, and that's online. You can see that.
I'll definitely check it out.
Great. Excellent. So you do all sorts of YouTube-y things now, don't you?
Yeah, I guess most of my engagement with people is through YouTube. That is by far the most influential platform, I'd say.
And recently you have become a volunteer for AAI, is that correct? Or am I, is this going to happen in the future? I'm not quite sure where we are in that phase.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite not sure either. I mean, I've spoken to Michael a couple of times, and he's called me. I feel so bad. I immediately said yes when I was offered to be a part of it, but then I withdrew from that position purely because I'm doing so much work. My actual work, the work that I do for a living, has been impacted so much by the work that I'm doing. I'm putting out 4 videos a day. They're little excerpts from my own thing, but as you know, you probably edit your videos as well. You know, it's still a bit time consuming. And I do 2 videos on my English channel. So that's about 6 videos a day.
Right.
And then on top of that, I have to stay up to date with all these news. And then on top of that, I try to read 1 book or a month, and I've been struggling to do that. So I'm really and I'm not doing any work. You know, my normal business that I used to have, it went down because of COVID-19. So that's fine. It gave me more opportunity to focus more on this. But now I'm getting really good rewards from it. So I'm so busy that's why I got scared, and I sent an email and I withdrew myself from it. And then Michael, something happened, and then Michael told me that, Harris, would you please like to come? And I said, look, if you're really desperate, I can be a part of it, but I'm really nervous that I might not be able to do my job as an Australasian director. So I don't know where I am either. I think Michael understands my situation. He knows that I am a bit reluctant to be a part, just because I'm a huge fan of Atheist Alliance. The amazing work that you guys have done for ex-Muslims, especially in Africa, and it's a great organization to be a part of. But unfortunately, as I said, I haven't officially become a part, just because of I'm afraid that I might overcommit myself and then I might not be able to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I understand, because I used to be a wage slave too. And now I'm lucky I'm retired, so I can devote myself to whatever I want to do. And it's this charity work that I currently do for AAI. So I just hope that you can find time in your busy life to squeeze us in.
Look, it would be, as I said, it would be an absolute honor. And again, once COVID picks up and my personal business picks up, I don't know how difficult would it be then as well. But you're right. I used to be a wage slave, just like how we're meant to go ahead. You finish your degree, then you pay off your loan, and then you do a 9-to-5 job. So I actually quit that nearly 4 years ago now, and I set up my own business. That went well. But now I'm spending so much time in this, I've got no interest in that other business. So I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Every time, as you would know this as well, every time when someone sends you a message saying that you've changed my life, and I've broken the shackles away, and I don't believe in these ancient fairy tales, and I'm not afraid of hell anymore, that just one message alone lifts you up so much that it just says, okay, I'm going to spend next 1,000 years, if I could, doing this work. But now I've received over more than 1,000 messages from people like that. So I'm definitely enjoying what I'm doing, and I think for a very long foreseeable future, I'll be doing this.
Good. Well, it's very valuable because, of course, Pakistan is one of the hardline religious countries, isn't it? And also there are parts in the south where people are very keen to learn English and to become more westernized. I'm not saying that westernized is necessarily good, but that's their wish, So we should help them.
Look, you're right. Pakistan is a funny country. It's not as extreme as Iran or Saudi Arabia.
No.
At least at the government level, all the parties of Pakistan, like even the Nawaz Sharif party and late Benazir Bhutto's party, and now Imran Khan's party, it's different because we do have Anglo-Saxon laws in Pakistan to most part. So there's a strong influence of Western democracy. We have a parliamentarian democracy, and we have prime ministers, and it's very similar in some aspects. But the only thing that's holding Pakistan back is this conservative version of Islam, and it has, unfortunately, since the decline of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in '79, and then obviously General Zia came in. Since then, in the last 35 years or so, it's been, well, actually now 40 years now. There was a gradual decline in Pakistan's democracy, and our parents tell us how it actually went from somewhat really moderate country to be getting more and more extreme. So, for example, we had laws for adultery, harsher laws for adultery came in, blasphemy law, capital punishment for blasphemy law came in at that time, as a result, collectively the society became more and more radicalized. And then obviously September 11 happened, and that didn't help the cause either. So people became more radicalized, and the victim mentality came in, evil West came in. But now we're seeing a reverse in that. But in the 21st, there was a little break for 8 years, 9 years when General Musharraf came in. He was a very enlightened person. He did try to put Pakistan back towards modernity, but again, it was short-lived. But that generation that grew up, there's still a little hope for modernity. They like West, and they think that the clerics in Pakistan, them getting a hold, and all the other negative news that comes out of mosques and madrasas, that's not helping their cause, and all the child abuse and violence. So there is a strong hope that Pakistan wants to, especially the young people, they do want to modernize, they do want to go ahead, but it's very hard to break the shackles when you grow up in a society where you think that we just don't talk about religion. That's the main attitude that's holding them back. We just don't talk about. We can be westernized. We can wear jeans. We can wear modern clothes. We can sing songs. That's where it's different from others from Saudi Arabia and Iran. There's a strong influence of Bollywood as well, so they're okay there, but they just don't want to talk about religion. And I think that's the part where people like me come in. Ever since I started my channel in Urdu, 3 more people have jumped in. One of them has 65,000 subscribers. The other one has 20,000. There's a girl coming out by the name of Miss Atheist. She doesn't show her face, but so she's talking. So that thing, I think within a year or two, you guys are going to see a major revolution in Pakistan. You're going to see, we just had a survey study done, I think a couple of days ago, it came out in Iran. It said nearly 50% of Iranians have left Islam. They might not be atheists, but they've left Islam. They don't believe in any religion. That's massive. I don't know why, but next survey in Pakistan, a detailed study like that in Pakistan, a lot of people are going to be shocked.
I do hope so. But up in the north, near the border with Afghanistan, you still have a Taliban area? This is where Mullah Yousafzai came from?
Yes, so the northern part is called Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Mostly Pashtuns live there. So you British left a mess there when 1947 you guys left. So there's a Durand line. Well, you left a mess everywhere, basically.
Guilty.
So the Durand line there, the Pashtun people in Pakistan, they don't consider themselves fully Pashtuns either. And then on the other side, Pashtun, Taliban reside there, and so there's always an issue going on. But you know what? You'll be surprised to hear that one of the most liberalized people also live in that region. There's a movement there. It's called PTM, and they've held rallies, and 1 million people have turned up where they're demanding secular Pakistan. You would not hear that in the news. It's in social media. I could not believe it until I actually saw the videos myself. We know that is a very tribal culture. They like to lock up their women, etc. But there's another side of it, because they are rebelling against Pakistan, the state of Pakistan, the army, and Malala Yousafzai came from there as well. But that was because of Taliban there. But yes, highly conservative. They don't like to send their women to children, the girls to schools, etc. But there's another version coming out. It's called PTM movement, Pashtun Tahafuz movement, and they're all, majority of them atheists. I was actually approached by some of them and said, "Well, Harris, would you please speak for us?" And I said, with these political matters, I'm not really that knowledgeable, and I don't want to go in that. I just want to focus on Islam. But I was shocked. So. I think I've said my piece on that.
Well, it's fantastic news, and all I can say is more power to your elbow with your YouTube channel. You seem to be a trendsetter. Other YouTubers are following your lead. This is good.
Look, I mean, I think it was bound to happen. If it wasn't me, someone else would have done it. And once they had done it, it's just going to blow. We have everything to gain. Pakistan is, on paper, is a country where 94% Muslims live. 94. They can't go from 94 to 96, or they can't make, the most they can go is 100%, probably unlikely to happen. But we have this population 94% of Pakistan is in, what is it? It's nearly 20 million people. We can only gain from it. And whenever you float an idea, the natural law is half the people believe in it, the other half don't believe in it. So
Yeah.
it's so easy for us. What the clerics normally talk about, you know, it being created in 6 days. Clerics talking about, and more, ever since you'd be surprised that there are clerics with million plus subscribers, and
No,
they respond. They respond to my.
I've seen some of their nonsense online.
Yeah, but they respond to my videos, and how they're trying to rebuke me is by telling me that Earth is stationary and sun does go around the Earth because Quran does say it, and I say, you know what? More power to you. Just keep responding to me. And the ordinary kid who goes to school, when he realizes that, is that what our book teaches us? Quran teaches us? Good luck. Good luck in saving them their religion. And you know, there's certain trigger points that we always talk about, like the flying donkey of Prophet Muhammad. I know people might think that, okay, you're kind of straw manning the position. Not really, because it literally the majority of people do believe in that. Moon being split into two, they believe in that. And when you tell women that your testimony is half, or your husband is allowed to beat you up, or you're deficient in intelligence, and your husband can have 3 more wives on top of you, plus unlimited number of sex slaves, you know, these things do hit them somewhere. And somewhere, you know, it's very hard. I was just thinking that if Muslim women, if Pakistani Muslim women, if they rebel, then, you know, these guys will have nothing left.
It's difficult to understand why any woman supports any religion, really, because they are all misogynist. Anyway, Harris, this has been fantastic. I'd like to talk to you about possibly coming on my other show, which has an hour-long opportunity, but this is just supposed to be a short interview. So I'm going to say thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take the rest of the day off.